The peasants of our time might complain about rising grocery prices, but medieval farm workers lived under a shadow we can barely comprehend, the constant gnawing possibility of famine. Not just hunger, mind you, but actual, biblical famine that could reduce human beings to creatures barely recognizable as such. Those living in St. Aliqui could count themselves fortunate, for the region had not suffered a catastrophic famine in living memory. But older peasants still whispered stories of the terrible years of 1030 to 1032, when starvation had transformed ordinary people into something from a nightmare. During those lean seasons, the poor had been reduced to eating grass, roots, and even white clay. Their faces grew pale as parchment, their bodies skeletal, their bellies grotesquely swollen. Most disturbing of all, their voices became thin and piping, like the voices of birds. The social order collapsed entirely during such famines. Wolves, grown bold with hunger, emerged from the forests to feed on children. Travelers learned to avoid lonely roads, not from fear of common bandits. Still, because starving people would waylay and kill strangers simply to eat them, near the town of Macon, authorities discovered a hermit who had lured unsuspecting wayfarers to his cell with promises of shelter and sustenance. When they searched his dwelling, they found the skulls of 48 victims. They burned the hermit alive, though by that point, such justice seemed almost beside the point. Human flesh was sold openly in markets during the worst famines. Starving parents would lure away other people's children with promises of food, only to kill and consume them. A single measure of corn could cost 60 sous in gold, more than most peasants earned in an entire year. Even the wealthy lost their color during such times, growing pale and gaunt as their stores of grain dwindled.